So here's some people from his Stonehenge club, the straight track club as it was called, the ley line hunters. Here's a barrow that had trees growing around it. Here's a similar ring of trees without a barrow. This is a natural earth effect caused by these energy fields because they do have circular formations. Well, it is a hyperdimensional effect. These are harnessing hyperdimensional energy because the hyperdimensional energy is what makes the matter that is building the stones. Let me say that again. The matter that makes these stones, the stone itself, the actual hard stuff, is built from hyperdimensional energy, energy from the time field that's flowing into our space-time. That's what, according to Dr. Dewey Larson, all matter is built from, is this hyperdimensional exchange between three-dimensional time, three-dimensional space. That's all it is. So, of course, you're going to get time anomalies, but it's also the energy that builds you. It builds your DNA, it builds your body, so when you get more of it flowing through you, you're going to have more health and vitality. And because it's the energy of your consciousness, because it is consciousness, it's also going to give you a more advanced intellect. So the way that we can actually prove that this global grid, these energy lines, has a hyperdimensional effect that can completely pull you out of our three space of length, width, and height, the three-dimensional world, is with the research of Ivan Sanderson. He investigated a massive number of different disappearances of ships and airplanes. What he did is he took everything from every single ancient, everything from the dawn of aviation, going all the way back to the first airplanes and even before that for the marine records. He looked for every case of disappearance since planes were discovered. And he found that the majority of what he was finding all clustered around 12 points on the Earth's surface. That's completely unprecedented. That's not mainstream information. It was done in the 1960s. This guy should have been treated with as much respect as somebody like Edison or Einstein or Alexander Graham Bell or the Wright brothers, because this is a huge discovery. 12 key points around the world in which planes and ships are spontaneously disappearing. He wasn't looking... He didn't have anything in mind when he started doing this. All he did is he looked up each one and he gave it a push pin, push pin, push pin. And where were all the push pins at the end? They were in 12 places. Even stranger is that the 12 places are not just haphazardly scattered around the Earth. They're all equally distant from each other. They're harmonically balanced with one another. They're all the same distance apart when you look to the ones that are adjacent to each other. If you connect the dots, you get a sacred geometry, which happens to be the same geometry that's in the polio virus, the same geometry that's in many other viruses at the quantum level, including HIV. But it's not just a negative, toxic thing like viruses. It's a very positive thing that's the fundamental building block of physical matter and biology and life. It's an icosahedron. Now, here we go. This is the Bermuda Triangle. Obviously, you know about this one. Believe me when I tell you that there are many, many airplane disappearances that cannot be explained, where they've never found oil slick or flotsam on the surface of the water. All they find is a missing plane. It's on the radar 1 minute, it's gone the next. There's no oil slick, there's no wreckage, nothing. And they don't find anything on the surface, on the bottom of the ocean floor either. It's gone. What happened is it's passing through a portal. It's passing through a time gate. A gate into another frequency of reality, a parallel universe in which time is three-dimensional. Here are the 12 points that he discovered with his push pins. Take a close look. You see the Bermuda Triangle off the coast of Florida. You see another one near Brazil in South America. You see another one here on the land in Africa, another one down here by Sri Lanka. You see one that's the Himalayan mountains, all that crazy stuff like the Master and Teachings of the Far East, Tibet, all that stuff up there. You got some that are out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean here, which is a real lonely area to get stuck in. The Easter Island is down here. And then you got one here, which is the Devil's Triangle. That's officially been declared a disaster area by the Japanese government. They do not allow you to fly or sail through this area. You also have 2 bracketing Australia, and that's very important. Australia, if you notice, is the only continent that is completely pinned between actually 4. Because what he doesn't show you on this map is that there's one down here on the South Pole, one up here on the North Pole. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Australia is perfectly in the geometric center of 4 of the most important nodes. So there's a lot of crazy stuff, and the exact geometric center of the nodes happens to be right where Pine Gap is, which is one of the biggest bases where all this stuff is being done.